Today I spent my time working on this specific task, and I'd like to walk you through exactly what I've done so far. It all started when I received a short set of initial instructions along with a request to create a ticket for them. The instructions themselves were quite brief, just a few points, so I knew right away that I needed to expand on them. Without more detail, there was a risk of missing important steps or creating confusion later in the process. So I took those original instructions and began rewriting them into something more structured. I broke the process down into clear, actionable steps, adding context where necessary. My main goal was to ensure that anyone who reads them, whether now or later, can easily understand what needs to be done and why. Once I had a solid draft ready, I sent it over to our project manager for review. He took some time to go through it, and I was glad to see that he approved the overall structure. He also added a few more instructions to make the guide even more complete. This feedback loop helped make sure that we were aligned and working towards the same outcome. While working on the documentation, I also started doing some background research. Part of this involved examining our menu structure in detail. I looked at the menu tree, focusing on key areas like student management and course management. These are important sections, and I wanted to be sure I understood how they fit into the bigger picture. To make sense of everything, I first created a text-based information architecture. This was essentially a written outline of the menu structure, showing how different parts are organized. By having this in text form, I could quickly reference it, track my progress, and make changes as needed. But a text-only layout can be a bit hard to visualize, especially for larger projects. That's why I decided to start developing a visual IA, a diagram that maps out the same information but in a format that's much easier to grasp at a glance. I began transferring the details from my text outline into this visual layout, carefully mapping each section so the hierarchy is clear. This visual IA is still a work in progress. As I continue, I'll be refining the design, adjusting the layout, and making sure all the details are accurate. The goal is for it to be both comprehensive and easy to navigate, so that anyone on the team can quickly understand the structure without needing to dig through long descriptions. Moving forward, my plan is to keep building on this visual IA while also finalizing any remaining steps from the project manager's feedback. By the end, we'll have both a well-documented text guide and a polished visual representation of the menu structure, making the task clear, organized, and ready for implementation. That's my update for today. Thanks for taking the time to follow along with my progress.